Hello everyone and welcome to this update after a very long time. So this update is going to be mostly about equipment. As you can see on the bottom right, there is now a button for equipment, and if you press the letter E, well, now it says there is no equipment. But as we move around the dungeon, you will see that, for example, we found like a rusty sword. And then if we go to it, we can press the letter G, and now it's going to be equipped. So you can see a rusty sword equipped. And now let's see if we find, okay, so now we find, for example, like a shiny sword, which again, we can grab. And I'm going to actually equip this one. So going to the menu and selecting the one, you can equip it. So you can see how you can move around the dungeon and select different items. And one of the main things, this is another shiny one, one of the main things I have implemented in this version is like the combat. Before in the previous version, okay, it's just items, so I'm going to go to the next level. But before in the previous version, every time you attacked a monster, you did like 1 damage. So now the damage that you do is going to be variable, and it's going to depend on the items that you have equipped. So let's see if I find like a monster. Okay, so here, for example, is an orc. So I'm just going to let the orc come to me. So now you see here that the orc appears, orc attacks player and it makes 1 damage. So now if I run into it, you can see that it makes like 3 damage. And that's because the shiny sword is doing 2 + 1, which is the base by the user, by the main player. And now the orc is just dead. Yeah. So this is also like something else that I've added, which is like a healing potion. And this one is going to heal 6. There are also like small potions as before, which are going to heal 3. So now I'm just keeping like all the levels looking like the room's dungeon, just because it's the easiest way for me to show the different things. But yeah, this update has mostly been about adding equipment like shiny, rusty swords, equipping them. You can choose one or the other, and then adding like a more dynamic combat where, you know, the user is going to make 1 damage just by normal attacks, and then depending on the item that you are using, it's going to make more or less. And that's basically it. Thank you for listening.